Hey, ofmyseat here, back again with another brand new video. So today I will be no damaging the entirety of this demo of Lost Judgement, which has only come out in Japan. However, I was able to acquire myself a copy because I have a Japanese PSN account. You wanna know why I made that Japanese PSN account? Is in order to play the demo of Kiwami 2, like the Japanese demo, which only came out in Japan. And then I used my account again so I could play the demo of Lost Paradise. And then I played the entirety of Lost Paradise in Japanese. That was pretty fun. And then I played it in English. That's the version I have for my no damage to that game. And yeah, here you'll see that there is 0% detection on the right, and the timing for that is very, very strict. Like, I was pretty much kind of guessing it. Like, you have to press the triangle button at a very, very specific time and hold it. And the thing is, like, how do you qualify no damage for tailing? Well, I'm gonna qualify it as that thing being at 0%. And, like, you know, the thing is, like, I did take a tiny bit of damage. Like, I took like 0.0000 like 1-2% like detection, but you know, the game doesn't qualify it like that much, so it's at 0. And since it's at 0, I'm taking no damage. Also here, like, I kind of like that they added this focus feature where it's like, oh, you have to focus on the picture in order to get a better picture. Because I don't know, in the first Judgment, you would have, they kind of have these same qualifiers. You go, you have to take this type of photo and this type of thing, but now you gotta adjust the focus. Ooh, I don't know, in first Judgment, like, there were points where you would have to move around and also point the camera somewhere, so I'm assuming those things are gonna return for Lost Judgment. And yeah, tailing's back and it's still boring. Like, there's a few changes. I mean, you can hold the triangle button to kind of be all incognito in real time. Instead of going to designated like incognito points, you can just be incognito wherever you feel like. I believe the first Kuruhyo game had a feature like that, and also instead of having contextual cover places, you just slam yourself into a piece of cover, and if you can hide behind it, you will sometimes hide behind it. Now here, this is a tricky thing. For the most part, if you just stay stuck to this wall here, you won't be detected by the dude over there, but there was one point where I got stuck to this wall here and the dude detected me. So it's not 100% like sure that he won't be detected, but I think maybe the people that were like in front of this dude when he looks back at me were blocking his field of vision. I don't know, but for the most part, if you stay stuck like near this wall, you should be fine. But yeah, thing is, being detected doesn't really do much of anything because it's very easy to like get undetected, but you know, I kind of need an excuse to call this video no damage. So yeah, this thing being at 0% is my excuse. I was almost about to upload this video with like that thing at like 3 or 4%, but then like during one of my attempts, I accidentally had it at like, I got a 0%. I was like, yo, let's do it again. And I repeated it over and over and over. Like, this demo brought me a lot more frustration than I was expecting, and thankfully this demo like didn't allow me to do a legend run. Though I will say, once this game comes out, I will be doing all the boss fights on legend difficulty. Like, I'm tired of like, you know, being baby about this. Like, I'm gonna go full on the hardest difficulty in the game for like my future boss fight videos. I feel like I might go back on that at some point in my life. Though, yeah, here sometimes there'll be like these cutscene moments which you can't skip, and that's kind of weird. And also, I should probably mention, I am playing this on PS4, and that was honestly one of my biggest worries about this game, because it was like gonna be like a PS4, PS5, like a, you know, launch deal, and I was like, how is it gonna feel on PS4? Is it gonna run like ass? And now I'm playing it, and it runs pretty well. Like, yeah, it's not 60 FPS, but like it's a pretty stable 30 FPS so far. Like, I don't know, the game feels very nice, and I gotta say, yo, the improvements to combat here, like, I mean, like, I don't know, the hits feel a lot heavier now, like, boom, bam, choom, choom, bam, bam, like, the particle effects are really cool, but I think the biggest star of the show is the way you can switch styles. It is so much faster. Look at that, boom, boom, you're back into the action. Like, one of the most insane things you can do is that you can switch, like, you can just, like, reset your combos, kind of. Because, like, you can't just, it's not just that you can switch between styles, that you can switch to the same style again. So, like, you could juggle, you could put an enemy to the air and then switch to, like, your same style. Like, you know, juggle an enemy with crane, switch to crane, and then just keep, like, the combo going since, like, you know, you kind of paused, like, the game by switching styles. Like, I think I may or may not do it in this video, but I don't know. So, yeah, that was just a little tutorial fight, and I'm really glad that this game allows me to skip the tutorials because, like, the tutorials demand a little too much. Like, oh, you have to press square a bunch of times, yada, yada. Like, it's very reminiscent of, like, the first Yakuza, but at the very least, I can just skip it. I don't know, most future Yakuza games, like, you can skip the tutorial just on New Game Plus, but at the very least on this game, on New Game, I can just skip it immediately. So yeah, here I'm going to show a bunch of dudes who I believe are in the industry maybe. I'm trying to align myself so that Yagumi's also in the photo because, you know, gotta put my boy Yagami here. However, waiting here is not what you're supposed to do at all. In fact, I'm wasting a lot of time just by waiting here. This is actually a scripted event. You're supposed to walk forward and then like you'll overhear a piece of dialogue and then that will continue the tailing mission. There is zero reason for me to be standing here, but I thought it'd be really funny to waste time just looking at there. But I didn't really want to waste time. Excuse me. I didn't really want to waste time. I thought it'd just be funny to wait for like this dude to move by standing there, but I wasn't supposed to stand there. Like here, I was supposed to go to that point and then it would trigger an event. Now, even though this like fence is see-through, this dude when he looks back, he doesn't see me. So it's like, yo. So I guess like this fence kind of acts like a wall maybe? I don't know. It's weird. Maybe I'm just so far away that he doesn't see me. Like, I mean, there's been very, very cringy moments where, like, I would run towards this dude while he was inside, like, the store he's about to enter right now. And then, like, he would, like, detect me for, like, 1 or 2%, and that was kind of weird. So, yeah, I don't know. One thing with cars is that, yeah, they could be cover, but sometimes you'll just climb over the car. I mean, you saw me climb over the car in the beginning of this video, so I just... like these tailing things, I think like what kills them, and I think probably what kills most tailing missions, that you can't control the pace of like the tailing. And yeah, Judgment's like stealth mechanics still are not that in depth. Like it's just you can walk around, you can take cover. Like at most you can maybe like the elevation of certain areas maybe adds a degree of fun, but beyond that, like you're just waiting for the enemy to get somewhere, so you just kind of wait in a place where they don't see you, and that's it. Like, even Assassin's Creed has more going on because you can climb anything in Assassin's Creed and like, yo, let's go. Like, there's nothing else to do here. You're just tailing this guy. Like, hell, I mean, I played Metal Gear Solid 4 like maybe a month ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, like Metal Gear Solid 4. That had a tailing section. And at least there, like, you have to take care of guards that will show up sometimes. Like, I mean, the stealth in that game is a little bit more complex. You can do camouflage, you can do disguises, you can... you know, like, the level design usually has more going on. And yeah, here, thankfully, the tailing section is done. We don't have to deal with it anymore. However, that doesn't mean the stealth is done because... okay, so the Judgment, like, 1 only had tailing missions. That was, like, all the stealth in that game. To an extent. But here, now we have more... like dedicated stealth, even though in this demo it's very much a scripted thing. So yeah, here this like first person like looky thing returns from the first Judgment game. Now I've only beaten Judgment through the Japanese release, and I looked at like all the cutscenes in English, like, you know, like after the fact. I mean, for my no damage video, that's pretty much how I did it. You can watch my no damage of like Judge Eyes. And yeah, I'm calling it Judge Eyes because I did play the Judge Eyes version, aka a Chinese release of the game, which has the original model of Hamura. And I kind of wanted to no damage that original model. You know, watch that video for more context. And yeah, here we are gonna climb stuff, and like, I don't know, this stuff looks a little bit promising. Like, I mean, I have somewhat a bit of control. I mean, yeah, it's still like very Uncharted, very Assassin's Creed, where like, it's not really like momentum-based platforming. It's just kind of like you follow a path and that's it. But maybe like the paths in like future missions, or maybe some side missions, can get a little bit more interesting. And it could kind of add some like nice verticality to maybe some beat 'em up levels. I don't know. I'm probably being very hopeful, but I don't know. Like, this stuff is cool. Or maybe I'm just happy to see it implemented into Yakuza. Maybe, I don't know. It's probably gonna end up pretty shallow because there's not much you can do with this. But at the very least, it adds maybe a little bit more. Maybe like the world exploration is gonna be a little bit fun. And yeah, once I passed these cats, there was like a slight pause, a slight freeze. What is up with that? But yeah, I mean, so far this performance has been very, very, very smooth on PS4. So like, I think I'm going to stick with like the PS4 version of this game. However, there is this one weird thing which happens in this game, and like it's happened in other Yakuza games, but only on PC. Like when I was playing Kiwami 2, sometimes when I would go to like a boss fight and like start punching it, like my punches would straight up phase through the boss fight. Like if you look at like my Roblox Kiryu Gaming like meme video, like the one that's really yellow and has a circle like pointing to like the Roblox Kiryu thing, like there's a point where I try to approach Man in Black and like I do like a charge attack on him and it completely misses him even though I'm right in front of him. Like my fist goes straight through his body, but because I did it too soon, like it just didn't register. That also happens in this game. So I don't know if that's like a PS4 like exclusive issue or if it also happens on PS5. Because I don't know. I mean, one thing is that Kiwami 2, like at 60 FPS, has unique like issues. There is like unique properties that make the game harder to like play than Kiwami 2 at 30 FPS. So I'm kind of wondering if it's the same issue with like Lost Judgment, but I doubt it. But I also don't doubt it. So yeah, here I messed up this section a lot of times, and it's for a very simple reason. So you need to get a key. It's on the table there. And pretty much you have to wait until like that examine thing pops up, like the little like contextual action pops up, because if it doesn't pop up and you press X, you'll start sprinting. And if you start sprinting right in front of that dude's like, you know, face, he will wake up and then he'll pretty much like ruin this section for you. Thing is though, I'm gonna do this right now. See, like the action didn't pop up and I started sprinting when I held down X instead of opening that door, but the dude for some reason didn't wake up, his buddy didn't wake up, so I don't know. Very, very weird like stealth system. Like it's very simplified, like, you know, it's not natural. Like you can't just naturally sneak throughout the game. Like it's only in the designated sneaking sections. They have the lockpick minigame returns, except this time it has a more dynamic little camera. They're like, ooh, like it starts zooming in to kind of add to that gratification of like, you know, pulling off a nice lockpick there. And I also did that very, very quickly. Okay, so I mean, I mentioned that you don't just go to designated cover points. However, I guess for the stealth sections, you do. So there's that. However, they kind of changed it from blue to red now. And I really like this detail. Like, I mean, yeah, using coins as like, you know, distractions is a very, very like common trope in stealth games. However, this is actually part of your money in like the game. I don't know, I like that detail. I don't know what other game has done that. Like, I mean, I'm sure there are other games that have done that, but usually, I mean, like in Hitman Blood Money, you just have a magical coin that never goes away, really. While here, you're actually throwing like, you know, your real life money in this game. I don't know, it's like your real currency. It feels natural. It feels nice. It feels lived in. I like it a lot. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Yeah. So now we're going to be approaching our first boss fight. And just like the first Judgment, it's going to be an absolutely pathetic showcase. Though I will say, like the first boss fight I did in like my Judge Eyes video, like I was kind of struggling a lot with that game. Like I was struggling with it, like to make it look cool, just because that was my first time picking up like Judge Eyes in like months. However, here this is the first time I've got my hands on Lost Judgment, and I just boom, little combo there, and then boom, heat action. This is a new heat action in the game, and it looks sick. Also, I should probably clarify, I did not do this entire demo in one take. Why is that? This next fight coming up. So yeah, for these like little tutorial sections, like when you're in the tutorial, you don't actually take damage even if you get hit. However, once you skip the tutorial, you can take damage. Though it should be noted that while you don't take damage, the enemy also doesn't take damage in the tutorials. But then once you take the tutorial off, boom, enemies are going to start taking damage. So yeah, you have to position yourself here where like the enemies aren't going to get a strike on you. And also, Crane has been changed a bit. Like now Crane has some unique properties like unique grab animations. Oh, to be fair, like when you're in X Heat, you actually have unique grab animations, which is really, really, really cool. And honestly, like something which kind of messes me up about these unique grab animations is that like some of that stuff was used in like Kiwami 2 mods. Some of the mods which I worked with, like sometimes, like look at that. When you're in X Heat mode, you do that grab. When you're not in X Heat mode, you don't do that grab. Also, when you're in X Heat mode, you actually take damage this time. So it's not an instant win button. You just have access to new combos. And honestly, the first Judge Eyes should have handled it that way, though it probably would have made the Amon fight in the first Judge Eyes actually like straight up impossible. So yeah, here are chases, and chases have been made a little bit more interesting. Like it's still not on the level of 5 per se. Like it still just kind of amounts to a bunch of QTEs, but at the very least, the enemy has a health bar, you have a health bar. Like I mean, it's scripted, and also like the QTEs are a little bit more frequent. Like they're a little bit more demanding now. Like not that demanding, but I kind of I found myself actually missing a few just because I wasn't expecting. Like look at boom. Boom, like I mean, why did I have to do that? Oh, you have to climb on the wall there. Like, I don't know, they come a lot more frequently, which kind of keeps you on the edge of your seat more. Hey, shout out to me. So yeah, let me go to something completely unrelated. So this game has DLC, and they are getting way scummier with it. So yeah, Kaito is gonna have like his own separate like campaign mode, and Kaito in the first game when you fought him, he pretty much just used Kiryu's brawler style. So I'm actually just kind of wondering if we're just going to be using Kiryu's brawler style in the Dragon Engine, or if they're actually going to develop a new combat style for him. Like, I don't know. When it comes to like these big side campaigns, I mean, the Majima Saga just used like Majima's knife style from Zero, and it didn't fit in the Dragon Engine. Now, Kaito, I'm just kind of wondering, is it only going to be brawler? Like, I mean, or are they going to develop something a little more interesting? Like, I mean, I don't expect them to put that much work into it. However, apparently it's going to be like a 10-hour type deal, which, you know, would kind of justify making it a separate DLC thing, though I would have much preferred if it was just in the game and I didn't have to pay for it. Like, but if it's going to be 10 hours, then at the very least, it's going to be a lot more substantial than the Majima Saga, which was only like 20 minutes, frankly. And even watching cutscenes, it was like 2 hours, maybe 3 hours maximum. And I'm probably exaggerating with that. So 10 hours, like, at least I'm going to have something substantial. I just hope that the final boss fight of like that Kaito DLC is not just some like crappy gun moveset enemy like it was in the Majima Saga. Like, I do not want that. But yeah, they're also locking the harder versions of Amon's behind DLC. And also a 4th fighting style. Like, what? Like, I mean, like, you know, this game's gonna have 4 fighting styles. Like, yo, the last game to do that was like Yakuza 0. Like, this is gonna be the first game to like do that since that game. But they're gonna lock the 4th style behind DLC. And yeah, do you see the way I ran there? That was very funny. But yeah, like the 4th style behind DLC. And Yakuza 0, like the 4th style was hidden behind like, you know, like this one side business. It was a cool little secret. But now, oh, that cool little secret, you have to pay money for it. Like all the magic is kind of ruined with that. Like, come on. Like, I was so hyped for this game to be like the best Yakuza game ever. But now, like, they're doing all these scummy practices, which is kind of like, it's ruining the fun, Sega. Like, what the hell? Like, yeah, Yakuza's getting more successful. Like, this game's gonna get a simultaneous, like, you know, Japanese and English release. So the series is becoming really, really popular, and now that it's becoming really, really popular, they're getting scummier with the DLC. Like, I guess one like benefit of it being niche is that they didn't pull that crap. Though it being really niche led to Yakuza 5 getting a digital-only release 3 years after the Japanese release came out, which I much prefer the series to be popular, but I stop it with the scummy DLC, and they're not going to stop, because I'm going to try to buy this game day one, and I definitely want 4 fighting styles. It's going to make the no damages like more stylish. That's the thing. They're scamming the no damagers. Like, they're scalping them now. They're scalping people like me who want to like experiment and make like their videos look stylish and all that. And also, like, for the people who want to no damage the harder versions of Amon, they're scalping me. Come on, man. Come on. Like, ridiculous, utterly absurd, stupendous. Like, if it was just like a bunch of like costumes for like the hostesses or whatever, or like your chicks which you date, I don't care. I don't want to spend money on that. But a 4 fighting style, I mean, at least in the first Judgment, all it did was add like lightning like abilities to like your normal combos. But no, this is a whole new fighting style. I hate this game. What are you doing? So yeah, this is the actual like only boss fight. And yeah, I had to repeat this a couple times. You will notice that I saved before this section, because if you like take damage during here, there's a possibility that Kaito will just kill everyone in the room before you can like restart. So it's best to just have a save here, so you can just quit the game and then come back to it. So yeah, I think the only like real apparent issue that's gonna happen from playing this game on PS4 is probably just load times and also 30 FPS, but 30 FPS is manageable. So yeah, here I'm just kind of, you know, doing my combos, style switching between combos, and it's so smooth. It looks so nice. And yeah, I could make this a bit stylish. And yeah, charge attacks right there. And like, we don't even have access to the 3rd style of this game, the snake style. So that's not available in the demo. Yeah, here's another thing. So like the wall combos, like the different styles have different animations for it. Here's a new heat action that looks sick. I don't know the conditions to activate that heat action, but it looks so sick. Look at the way I'm going to end this. Boom, bam, thank you for watching. So yeah, my next video will probably be like Roblox 6, but I don't know, man. I got homework. I didn't finish that essay, by the way. Bye-bye.